As a content creator or a photographer, you have a decision to make every time you take a photo, whether to take your photo as a JPEG or a RAW image. And all modern digital cameras these days give you the option of either shooting your picture as a JPEG or a RAW file, and sometimes and often you're able to do both. As a general rule, when you take a picture in RAW format, you're likely or very likely to need to edit that file in your editing suite once you've taken it. But there is a good chance, or there is a chance, that image will be a better quality image than if it was a JPEG. When you take a picture in JPEG format, all the settings that you've set on your camera are burned into that picture. So things like white balance, sharpness, contrast, all those things that you can adjust on your camera before you take a picture, they're all burned in and saved on that image. What the camera does, it uses a lossy compression format to reduce the size of the image once you've taken it in JPEG mode. And lossy by its name suggests that your camera loses information. So it does an estimate of the image, it looks at the image and decides which parts of the image it doesn't need, and it strips out, or it loses as many pixels as it can to save data. So not only have you burned in various settings using the JPEG, but it's also you lose information, or you lose pixels to enable that image to be shrunken down. However, your camera does offer you, or is likely to offer you, a number of different JPEG formats. For instance, you could have a fine format or a super fine format, or as in the case of this Canon 400D, this offers you a small, medium and large format. So it gives you various sizes of image and therefore various quality of JPEG image. And you can choose exactly which one is right for you. And the difference between a JPEG and a RAW is that with a RAW file, your camera saves all of the data it sees on the image, all of the data it sees on the sensor, it will save as your image. It doesn't make any adjustments whatsoever, and you get exactly what you see on the sensor. What that enables you to do is edit much more, or move the sliders on your editing software much more than you would do if it was a JPEG image. So for instance, if you want to bring out the detail that's either hidden in the darkest parts of your image or the lightest parts, then you're much more likely to be able to do that. And that's the best thing about the RAW file. However, if using RAW, your file is likely to be much, much bigger than your JPEG file, because you're getting all of the pixels and not a compressed image. In truth, there's no right or wrong. There's no right way or wrong way of doing it, because a JPEG is as good as a RAW file, and it really depends on what your photography style is, why you're taking the photo. So for instance, if you're taking family snaps or holiday pictures of your family, or dare I say, heaven forbid, if you're taking a photo of your cat for Instagram, the truth is you're probably not likely to need to do a lot of editing on those photos. And in truth, a JPEG, much smaller JPEG is probably the right way for you to go. However, if you're a professional photographer and you need to really work hard on your images and make sure all of your images in your photo shoot are aligned, then you're likely to want to choose a RAW format so that you can edit that image much, much better and, in more detail. There isn't a right way, there isn't a best. The JPEGs are no better than RAWs, but they just do a slightly different thing. And you might find that many professional photographers still take their photos in JPEG, because modern cameras provide some really high quality JPEGs these days than they might have done in the past. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope this video's been interesting and informative. And if it has, why not give it a like? That'd be great if you did. And if you like this kind of content, I'm producing these photography videos, then why not join along and subscribe to the channel? That would be lovely if you did. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio.